Hello, Nicole. I'm so excited to share my reflection based on the professional, pedagogical, and my personal growth from this micro-teaching experience in the David Lee Couple College. As a novice teacher for almost 4 years of teaching experience, I'm always inspired by the teaching belief that education is not the filling of a pail, but the lightening of a fire. This motto always has driven my dedication to the whole teaching journey, constantly seeking to improve and grow. However, after this experiment day, I always question myself, is dedication alone enough? Probably not the answer, right? So I came to realize the importance of your innovation, passion, as well as considering my learners' needs. That's why I like to go further about this reflection. The whole experience prompted me to reflect on my previous teaching pedagogies, as well as to think about like how I can better serve my students' needs. In the following, I will use the 3C's framework to share my insights. The first one is context. I remember the first time when I stepped into the school, I just felt really astonished by the whole vibrant atmosphere. Just wondering like how all these multicultural teachers and students with different ethnic backgrounds can communicate with each other so well, and how different kinds of activities, live events, clubs, community services equip the students with social skills, multiple intelligence, initiatives, leaderships to fulfill their potential as in a lifelong learning. And one of the language ambassador in sharing section told me that she just finished the mock interview day and so excited to get an offer from handsome bank. From her sparkling eyes, I can sense like how proud she felt. The school's focus on experiential learning has shown me the power of immersive real-world learning. In the past, I just felt really perplexed by their school's events like Tell Chinese Story in English and interdisciplinary project learning by connecting their nature science and imparting their plants knowledge to students in English explicitly, which now I realize as not that productive as they could be. This made me reconsider my previous context and the meaning of the professionalism, which now I see could be more real, diverse, and student-centered, giving students more freedom to choose their own topics for inquiry study and facilitating their creativity, meanwhile fostering their global perspectives and Chinese culture preservation. Another C is content. I would like to share the transformative experiences in Ms. Kingsley's class to illustrate more about the content, which has deeply influenced my teaching philosophy. Her approach to English education has transcended the traditional language instruction by subtly weaving in moral values, especially the critical issue of discrimination. By catering to student diversity, actually some students from Middle East or Southern Asia countries, Ms. Kingsley utilized their daily routine activities like model sharing or word sharing in each class, where students take turns to display their very model or even explain their meaning and connotations of the words. It did really touch me, like how Ms. Kingsley utilized their main classroom to inculcate students about the value and the wills of the world and life unconsciously. In my eyes, it's not just about their usual classroom of teaching forms, usage of English, or even functions, the reading strategies. It's more than that. It's beyond that superficial classroom. It's a more in-depth and complicated class that facilitates students' thinking quality and cultural awareness. What truly resonated with me was her mastery of the communicative teaching approach. Without relying on visual aids and PPT, she engaged students in a popcorn speaking activity, creating a kind of dynamic and cohesive discussion from student one after another, which actually seamlessly transitioned into the latter reading parts. This method, which included the reflections of the yesterday mock interview, is a powerful way to introduce the concept of discrimination by connecting student daily lives and prepare students for deep learning. At the post-reading stage, students were asked to design their community campaign, each student taking on a specific role to present their ideas. This not only ensures equal participation, but also ignites creativity and critical thinking, as each student was responsible for different parts, like introducing the activity design, the reason behind their design, the symbols, representations of their campaign, and etc. In the minute talk after class with Ms. Kingsley, she just told me that this is just her routine class, and each time she just wanted to give more opportunity for students' expressions and rehearse their confidence day by day. She intentionally chose the topics which resonated with ethnically diverse students, aiming to empower their consciousness and foster their growth. Ms. Kingsley's teaching philosophy served as a reminder of the profound impact teachers had by extending the curriculum to shape the students' character and confidence. In a way, her method have inspired me to infuse my own teaching with more meaningful and value-driven content, trying to make like similarly positive impacts on my student with good teaching qualities. And that should be like continuous love and empathy. The last one is change. As an observer from RHB, I gain valuable insights that have challenged my original approach. At my previous school, I utilized traditional PPP approach, hesitating to incorporate technology or any collaborative activities due to the concern of time and management. Witnessing RHB's class was an eye-opener. They are definitely used a task-based approach, embedding the students in a social media context that mirror their daily life. Tools like Menti Word Clouds sparked students' brainstorming by tapping into their prior knowledge, and also their CASES, the clever acronym, was also a mnemonic for structuring the argumentative writing, also laying with their Nico's your principle of the GAPC in writing. The use of jigsaw speaking activity in group work to debate the pros and cons, and the essay tickets for self-reflections were all innovative strategy that has resonated me a lot. These activities are particularly relevant for millennial generation who thrive on hands-on experience or prefers the rich technological environment. This peer teaching observation has prompted me to reconsider my teaching approach. So it's not just about incorporating technology, games, or Web2 tools. It's about how you combine all these teaching approaches and tools and how you embrace the Web2 pedagogy. This pedagogy emphasizes multimodality, utilizing blogs, podcasts, social networking, and virtual worlds as a conduit for learning. And that's why in my future teachings, I plan to create a kind of cyberspace like Padlet where students can share their ideas, collaborate, and evaluate each other's works by expressing themselves freely. This kind of space will be especially beneficial for underprivileged students, providing kind of safe and inclusive environment for them to represent their identities and narratives. Moving forward, I will adopt these innovative pedagogic approaches mentioned before. As a lifelong learner and mentor, I will adapt to this ever-changing educational landscape. My goal of teaching is more than just the transfer of content from one person to another. Particular pedagogical approaches needs to be refined and developed to promote the different varieties of modes of learning. For example, like learning the explicit content, learning the particular ways of their doing something, and learning the habits and values. It aims to foster students' self-regulated learning capabilities, preparing them to be a more proactive and collaborative learners inside and outside of the classrooms with my deep sense of care and empathy.